of Wheel to Wheel Season 4, and we are in Suzuka in Japan.
Yep, we sure are.
We sure are, aren't we? Yeah. We had a little moment. We won't discuss that.
No, we won't.
We won't discuss that. But it is Suzuka, prior to popular belief. Anyway, so let's get going. We have the wonderful and beautiful Mrs. Meeps beside me again this week. Welcome in.
Thank
It is just great to have you in. It's always fun.
It's great to be here.
I bet it is. Yeah. She says with gritted teeth. Okay, so we are good to go. Let's see what we've got for you this week. We have some reprimands and penalties to go through. As you can see there, Mrs. Meep, do you want to take the top one there with Mailman?
If I could read.
If you could read. Okay, Mailman 360 received a reprimand for late entry into the pit lane on lap 25.
Yes.
We saw this. It was a bit sneaky, right?
Yes. So you're saying that this is the second penalty? Is it the second
It's
penalty?
the second reprimand.
Second reprimand. Is
Right.
it for the same thing?
I don't believe so. I don't think he done this before, but he got a reprimand for something else before. And generally when you get a reprimand, it's because there wasn't a particular rule that you broke at the time, but there might be a rule in there now, and as a result of the incident, as a result of a thing in, a gap in the rules that was identified as a result.
Gotcha.
I don't think it was for a late pin entry. I think it was for something else. I'd have to look that up. We can get to that another time. But that said, he's got it. He went and got the new fresh tires. We had a safety car. Bunsey unfortunately left stranded. Not able to. Do you think Mayo Man cheated in that regard?
It's a tough one because, like, if it wasn't a rule before, technically he didn't break it. But then if it benefits you enough that you go on to win the race, it's a bit shysty.
It's a bit shysty. Well, I think shysty is about as good as we could possibly do. We're going to leave the middle one for a moment because that's not really big news. We're going to get back to that in a little bit. But Supreme Bio receives 2 penalty points for hitting Griffin 67 on formation lap, and Supreme Bio is now 12 points, 2 more for a race ban as a result of that. And then we had Blue Gunner does something similar on the formation lap. He gets 2 for hitting Supreme. Now he has 6 points. So this is, at this level, it's unforgivable to be making these mistakes on a formation lap.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think we're all think like that. It would be a shame at this stage for somebody to get a race ban based on something an amateur error.
That shouldn't be happening at this level.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. I think we definitely need to see a higher standard of driving as it relates to the guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go to
The other one.
this one here, and you just refresh the thing there, and it should come up. Okay. So the second to last one here is that every 6 races we have a review of the penalty points. If you've gone clean for 6 races, you lose some of those penalty points. So it's like, with the driving system here in Ireland, you get X amount of years of clean driving, your penalty points fall off the end. So we had Vernie Verne, we had Welsh Wizard, Major Jam, Mormick, Big Knockos, we skipped Elite Carbon, Budge 84, Is a Hero, and Wilfred Boney 2. All have now since
Clean slate.
Clean. Well, they've lost 2 penalty points after a review. Yeah.
Yep.
And 1 reprimand was removed as well because they've gone 6 races without incident. So that's good. That's shown there.
They get banned at 14.
You get at 10 points you get a quali ban.
Okay.
And at 14 you get a full ban for a race. Yeah.
If they sit a driver's safety course.
Yeah, they have to go through the safety course, and they
like real life.
And honestly, yeah, Kreen F. O'Vlerig has come in there. He is correct. Reprimands can be issued when there is no automatic penalty or damage. I think, yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those. It could be a race etiquette moment. Okay, fair enough. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it's not just that, but like certainly that's when you're going to see one. Definitely, it's a race etiquette thing. There's been a few of them handed out over the last little while. So the not so big news, but we see Angry Chameleon received a 5-second penalty and 2 penalty points for an opening lap incident with Mormick. Mormick reporting Angry Chameleon.
So it's not new, but it's expected.
You know,
we say expected.
It's kind
at some point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Angry Chameleon, as a result of that penalty, moves to 9th in the grid after finishing 5th. I believe it was, or sorry, 6th, 5th or 6th. So he moves down, and as a result of that, and those 2 penalty points that he got, he is out of tonight's race. He's not here.
So it's costly not to keep your shit together.
It's costly not to keep your shit together. Angry Chameleon now serving a race ban as a result of Mormick.
As a result of Mormick.
Well, as a result of the review of Mormick's he sent in for penalty.
It's a case of well. If it isn't the consequences of my actions,
you know what? You're not wrong. I think 14 penalty points is some amount of penalty points to accumulate. We are just about ready to get racing, so I'm going to join the party. We are ready to go. Let's see. I'll go full podcast mode while I'm doing this, so it's easier. Oh bugger. So we're going to switch over to the race. I'm going to go on to race view on the big screen here. That's not the right one. That's not the right one at all.
Yeah,
this could be a lot easier. Okay.
What happened here?
What? So we have 2 notifications. We have an invitation from Angry Chameleon to go, and we are going to join this. So let's see. So Angry Chameleon serving the race ban. He will be joining us live on the air tonight as co-commentator to ourselves. We kind of call him a poor man's Nico Rosberg. He's definitely not a Crofty, or anything like that. So
not likable is what you're trying to get
No,
at?
I mean clearly I'm Crofty, and he
Are you not Ted?
No. He's likable, and I don't know if I am. You know what I mean? He's kind of fun and
I like
likable.
you.
There you go.
I'll keep you around for a while.
There you go. Pick coin received. Oh, go away with that. Right. Hey, when you buy the game, you get X amount of pip coin, but I don't play the game, so I don't use it. Joining session. Here we go. We are going to join the session. Okay, so just as a result of all of that, here we go. We had Mayo Man in P1, Griffin in P2, Bunsey in P3, Rhonosaurus in P4, Elite Carbon in P5, 6th for Ruri Drain, 7th for Budge, 8th for Kaiser, Angry Chameleon down to 9th as a result of that penalty, Verdi Vernon 10th getting some points there, Blue Gunner, Why Not See, Is a Hero, Supreme Bio, Welsh Wizard and Iron Man all finishing the race but no points getting for them. We have Wets McLaren as he shall be apparently forever known. As he shall be forever known.
Because his name is like, he's like the lead character in like a B-rated detective show.
Wow.
Wow. No, but the name, like, you know what I mean? Like,
a B.
Like Wets McLaren on the case.
Wets McLaren is on the case. Oh my god. Yeah, I got it.
Somebody write the script.
Chameleon won't be happy, Crofty. yeah. Shit, stirring shit already. Yeah, well, I am giving Mrs. Meeps does have the Chameleon mute button.
Do I?
We will do, yeah.
Where?
It'll be over. Show me.
You have to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think of him as like, I think a poor man's Nico Rosberg, which means he's kind of young, but not many people I don't
know who he is.
Yeah, he had that one championship one time. I suppose that can't be really Chameleon either. He's never won a championship.
Okay.
Anyway, we keep on going.
We'll find a different comparison for that.
Yeah. Our DNFs, unfortunately, last week were, of course, Wets McLaren. Jesus Christ. Who's in there? We're going to have to mute somebody there. We're getting the feedback. Okay. Mormick there, obviously DNFing. I think he retired in the pits after the incident with Chameleon, which didn't benefit either of them in the end. And Kay Flemo was also another one there. That leaves Mayo Man 12 points clear of Bunsey. So not only did Mayo Man get the advantage as a result of finishing the race, he now leads the championship by more than 12 points. It was only 1 point in the difference last week. So that was a huge win for Mayo Man, really. It's really, it wasn't just, look, I have to say, the way Mayo Man stood up and said, look, I understand. I think it's a case of. He understood and he stood back and said, "Yeah, look, report it, have it all." So, whilst he was accepting, I think he knew what he was doing, and I think look, you can't be having that going on. Going forward. Obviously now there's a new rule in.
At the end of the day, it doesn't hit the same way.
And if he wins, like he was 1 point ahead, so if he wins the championship, now you got 11 points gap because of that last week. If he wins the championship by less than 11 points, is it tainted?
I don't know what that looks like to have a championship decided by questionable racing practice.
No, because you would never be caught doing that.
I've never seen it happen in F1.
No, I agree. Okay, so that puts him out in front there. Bunsey is at 97. Still them two lads. Streets ahead of Chameleon, who lost actually points. He was up to I think 54, but he's back to 46. And Budge on 45, making a push now up to 4th. Three-time champ, I think, is feeling the effects of being the three-time champ. Yeah, I think ultimately he's in a realistic car and he's up there. He's in the second slowest car on track because he's obviously one of the fastest guys in the game. So he's in 44. So it is a huge gap from Bunsey back to Chameleon, as we can see. But all that said, here's the other thing: Mayo not only leads. Won the race last week. He not only leads the championship, he also leads the Constructors' Championship with Major Jam, who hasn't been around for 2 weeks, but is back this week. But Mayo in spite of all that, done enough winning the last couple of weeks to retain the championship lead for the Constructors.
But again, if it's under...
Yeah, I think Major Jam is going to have to have a word with his teammate and say, I don't want to be associated with this, so but look, the problem is that Mayo Man is a very likeable guy.
I don't know, because this is...
Now let's see, can we hear the Meeps?
Watching this.
I can hear Meeps.
But I'll take your word for it.
Can't hear a fucking thing.
Do you think he did it on purpose?
Maybe we have to wait till...
Was it like...
I think...
Maybe I have to wait till I'm in the stream with him.
Well, he didn't know.
Was it just like a
he wouldn't have
like,
known.
Yeah,
I would have thought it would have been a lobby chat though.
He clearly wouldn't have known that the safety car was coming out. I would say, if I'm being honest,
if you're watching tonight and you're wondering why I'm not racing, it's because I got fucking... I got a ban, basically. Stuart weren't very helpful to me.
Hey, what's crack guys? Can you hear me?
So there mustn't be any game chat. I'm going to be commentating tonight with Meeps and Mrs. Meeps apparently.
I don't think it was malicious.
We'll get this race underway.
And I think that's the one thing that's going for him, I think.
There is that, but you also have to think, like, if I were in the US and I was filing my taxes and
carbon is in
this amount or whatever.
Right.
And I
so who's not in yet? Let's see if we can get them invited. Budge is in. K Fillmore Racing. Carbon, I think is in. Supreme
Or is
Bio
moving your money out of the United States to a
should have 18. That's it. That should be everybody.
Talk about that.
in the Caymans.
Meeps.
Really? Okay. I'm talking about like.
Ready up, people?
Yeah, of course.
Who
Yeah.
Oh, we have
all
Meeps,
takes
do we?
more money to the Caymans, isn't it? And
Who's on first in, yeah.
or whatever the fancy is that at that time. Okay, so that leaves Team Bun Gun now losing.
Let's see now. Can Budge get these fellas
there as well, because Bunsey not only
started on time?
second
1 minute to go.
in the championship, he's also second in
Why-
the constructors as well with Blue Gun, or not Blue Gunner, I beg your pardon. It is Kaiser Gun. So it's Team Bun Gun.
Ready up, Budge.
So, I think Kaiser might. Kaiser doesn't say a whole lot. I think I've heard him say about 14 words since I've met him in this 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
But he might have something to say about this, at the end of the year if he loses out on the championship as a result. So, maybe we'll get that out. He's a man of few words, but when he speaks, you listen.
It'd be nice to talk to some drivers and get
Yeah.
their...
Yeah, but
I would have thought maybe we could have heard Meeps from here, but maybe not.
we have had communication from the executive again.
fucking
Yeah, which we will will release soon enough. But we have to edit it and make sure that there's nothing there that
will anger them.
well we're not just going to broadcast anything on our
Where's
channel.
that noise?
That is us going racing. So that is the way the standings are. That is our, as you can see there, all of the stuff there in regards to the moving and arounds and all stuff like that. We are just going to go and invite Mr. Chameleon in to a.
Before you do that, where's my mute?
The mute. It's over here. I'll show you that now in a second. So let's start a party. Start a party.
Should we be hearing each other through the stream, Meeps? Getting a bit of a feedback loop there.
Join. And we are going live.
Aren't we already live?
We're going live with the race, I beg your pardon. That is a problematic thing I have. Okay.
We're going to get booted out a million times again?
Hopefully not. We've turned off that setting.
Okay.
Should we be hearing each other? I am. You shouldn't be hearing me, but go into the chat room that I'm in now that I just sent to you, Chameleon. Okay. I think we're good. We should, if Chameleon joins that chat room, we should be good to go. Oh yeah, hold on. There we go. I was just
Ooh.
we have
That's
a late release there, did we?
Mm-hmm.
That might
Safe
go
release.
for review. I'm in a party. I should not be. I'm not going into another party. Let's say.
Okay, I'm going to watch the race on this.
Join party. Okay. Chat audio switch to game. There we go.
Meeps, can you hear me?
There we are. We're in the good one. I invited you to another one, but I came into this one.
Yeah, the other one disappeared as soon as I joined it.
Ah, okay. Right. Well, looks like we're all good to go.
I thought you could do it through party chat. I thought we had to do it through the lobbies.
Yeah, no. This way I can have all the stuff on, and I don't need headsets. You can hear Mrs. Meeps here now as well.
Hey,
Great stuff. Hello, Mrs. Meeps.
How's it going, Chameleon?
It's not too bad. I'd like to say it's great to be here, but it's really not. I should be sitting here now with a fire retardant suit on me, strapped into one of those seats and flying around Japan, but it wasn't to be,
Yeah.
But it's the next best place, I guess.
Them's the brakes.
Those are the breaks indeed.
So yeah, big penalty for you. Was it 5th down to 9th or 6th down to 9th?
Yeah, that was a tough enough blow, but the race ban is
hurt.
just intervention. Listen, I know it's accumulation of points, and some of it, most of them are from last season. But to activate it with such what I think is a very minor thing is very tough to take.
Do you think in respect to Mick himself, do you think he retired too early in that race? He still had a chance in that Ferrari, right?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we talk about rules changing every week and stuff like that, and for me, I'm definitely going to be contemplating a rule about retiring, and it's very hard to judge because I understand, me more than everyone understands rage and stuff like that, and the frustration and the want to quit. But two or three laps into a race
with three safety cars.
Yeah, like ideally, if I could write a rule that if you're in a position to still score points, you're not allowed to quit, type of thing. But it's very hard to judge. It's really hard.
And who's to say when you're in 20th as a result of an early penalty, or sorry, not early, an early incident? Who's to say you're going to come back from that? Are you in a? You technically are in a place to score points if it goes your way, but you're probably already 20 seconds behind at that rate.
It's definitely going to be one that's hard to police, but we'll maybe come up with some system for next year.
So we're on with I'm personally on with Budge here as he goes around his fast lap. Budge improving of late, yeah.
Yeah, like we always knew Budge was consistent. You know what I mean? There was no doubt about that. Yeah. And he will improve as time goes on. He was probably a little bit slower to take his game than other lads.
Yeah.
He is in a slower car. But he's getting some good results, which unfortunately is going to put him probably in an even slower one in the second half of the season.
Well, he got that. He got around. He was initially pole there for just a second, major jam, and Griffin improving right behind him though. But he is ahead of.
Absolutely, I'm just looking at Griffin there, 130.7. That I was expecting a 129 going into this, and I spoke to some of the lads before the race, and they were struggling 131, 132s, and I was thinking 130 maybe, but Griffin straight out of the traps getting it there. You can see Bunty struggling.
Yeah, Bunty. Yeah. Now saying that, Griffin is lightning quick. To be fair, I would say that's an excellent banker under the circumstances.
It's a phenomenal banker, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's Paul. Do you know what I mean? Judging from what I've seen or what I've heard.
Buffa Lucas, our new joiner, he's in the Alpine this week. This is his first ever online race following Wet's McLaren last week.
Yeah, he had a practice race last night, and I wasn't there myself, but the lads were fairly impressed with him. He's fairly safe. He was compared to Mormick, but better.
Wow.
When he first started, so that's a fantastic way to be started. Yeah. At least he knows the buttons. No offense to Wets, he knows what DRS is, which is a start.
Right. Elite Carbon proven there. The Haas is faster than some would give them credit for, getting up to third. Excellent lap from him too. Yeah.
Elite Carbon is consistent, fast. It's just error prone.
He is.
He's backed tonight by Morbick at 6-1.
Wow. And it's not an unusual bet. He did show promise early on, but as you say, it's that one mistake late on that seems to kill him. He could consistently be leading the race, and then just a touch or a curb or something just puts him out. Welsh Wizard going 132.6 there. Not a bad lap from him in the Alfa Romeo, but Griffin showing the difference of over or near almost 2 seconds in the same car.
Was Griffin kind of like the dark horse? Did he kind of sneak in at the end of last race?
Ooh, I think a lot of people rate Griffin on speed. To be fair,
or is it just that I wasn't?
Griffin is probably one of the fastest drivers, Mrs. Meeps, in this league. Again, it's just a consistency. He's let him down,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely one to watch.
I
just don't want knockouts.
Last week is what you're saying.
Not at all. I think knockouts.
Yeah. No.
Okay, well listen, you've only got, your visibility is diminished, so, you're going to get a few allowances,
Did you hear that they're going to shove a needle in my eye on Friday?
I did. I think that's absolutely horrendous, and my eye is paining me with the thought of it right now.
First thing I asked for was sedation, and I was shot down.
Yeah.
I know. Disgusting. But maybe that's something we can talk about after the race. So Meeps, my big worry, it might be like a needle in the eye for me tonight, will be Big Knockos and Is a Hero. If they finish on the podium, I lose €120. There's two massive
bets on
them,
yeah.
Yeah, at 30-1. So this trophies next season will probably be made out of paper if they win tonight.
Yeah, they're lucky. Bit of a. Let me see if I turn Chameleon down. I'm just going to say, and somebody's going to say, to get a bit of an echo for you. Let me see.
Okay.
Where
I'm just looking at Kaiser Gunner here now.
Kaiser Gunner
On his hot lap.
Yeah, we were looking at Rhinosaurus there, who got himself up to 131.
No,
Let's see.
You say Rhinosaurus, is it not Roninosaurus?
Rhinosaurus.
Meeps has a very strange way of saying things.
It does. I've noticed
The correct
that.
way. The correct way.
No.
Vulnerable. He was saying vulnerable last week, which was really noticed. But Kaiser Gunner has always intrigued me. I don't get to see him. He's usually racing behind me. No offense. But he never seems to put in a qualifying lap, and now I get an insight as to why. And be interested to see what comes in that now.
The humble brag.
The humble brag.
It's not a brag at all. It's just
Blue Gunner is out.
Blue Gunner has retired. What happened?
Blue Gunner is out. That's he was on the way back. We'll have to follow around with Kaiser. See if we see him on the side here. Just going dark there.
Mayo Man is on his out lap. He's going to be one to watch. Obviously, a favourite for the race. 2 back-to-back wins last couple of weeks. Can he make it a hat trick this week?
It's definitely up there. I don't see Blue Gunner on track. He may have DNF'd or he may have retired.
No, he's gone. His car is retired.
Is it? Yeah.
Did he get booted out?
No, probably not.
No, he's still here. Kaiser Gunner coming around now. 129, 130. It's not going to be fast.
No, he is finished with a 132.3.
Which is where you'd expect it to be if he bothers to put in a lap.
Yeah, he set one. And also a man of few words. As I said, I think I've heard about 14 words out of this guy since we met 2 years ago.
Yeah, Mayo Man just coming around the hairpin now, about to start a hot lap.
Bunsey setting a 131, not improving. Mayo Man, we will follow him. He is on his lap. He is in sector. Oh, I didn't put on the information.
Mexican is quick.
Oh, he's actually on his hot lap. My apologies. He's on the hot lap.
Yeah.
Who's the Mexican?
We have XL Sully saying big up to the wheel to wheel. Thank you very much for that. Spider-Man should have been a season ban. He said there should have been a season ban for angry.
Don't tell Spider-Man he's going to get sacked as head of marketing soon if he's not careful. Here comes Mayo Man around the track.
Yeah.
128.
We're online
129
with him. Yeah.
131.0.
Yeah.
Mayo Man up at the second place. He's not going to be happy with the position, but that's about his pace at the moment.
It is, but he has finished consistently in the second place and then robbed the win. You know.
And a lot of drivers.
Yeah, well, there's a big question over that last week.
A lot of drivers actually say that starting from second is preferable.
For Japan, is it? Obviously, it's track dependent. But if he's on the grippy side of the track, absolutely.
Yeah, the run down into Turn 1 is huge. The Mexican is quick. Spider-Man.
Who's the Mexican?
He's not Mexican. He's Spanish. Buffalo Lucas.
Oh, Buffalo
is
Lucas.
17th.
Buffalo Lucas. He said a 151.9, so he'll have to improve on that to be quick. But I'd say that was
This is his first
yeah,
race.
absolutely. Griffin disqualified,
Griffin
going
has
the
been
wrong way
disqualified.
on track. Griffin is on
wow. So
pole,
does
but
this
he's
mean-
disqualified. He's going to that gives Mayo Man pole as
Yeah.
it stands.
Wow.
Wow, what a way
the
for Mayo
hell?
Man. Did Mayo Man have a part to play in that? Budge up to fifth with a 131.8. We now have everybody in the 131s all the way down to Rory Drain. But Rory,
That just sums up Griffin, doesn't it? Like, he's so fast, but he makes so many
That's
mistakes. And to drive backwards on track,
Yeah.
it's like missing the pit lane. It just doesn't
At
happen.
this level, you don't expect that kind of carry on.
You certainly don't, Mrs. Meeps. It's absolutely ludicrous behaviour. Aaron Man still sitting in the pits, hasn't put in a time yet. What's happening with him?
that's an interesting question. I mean, there's been a few guys who have done that, and I think there is a rumour going around that there are some people who say, hey, it's better to start at the back, watch the track, watch the race evolve in front of you a little bit at the start, and take positions.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of that, but not fucking that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
just
it'll be
from Aaron Man.
Griffin last regardless at this stage. Elite Carbon up to second at a 131 flat, only 0.05 of a second behind Mayo Man, half a tenth. That is a close one at the top there. So we have big knockouts in the top 8. There's a shock. Will he?
Well, Knuckles is a very fast driver. Again, error prone.
Yeah.
But my difficulty here tonight is obviously if himself and his hero get into the podium, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But there's another bet on there that fairness place. It's Bunsey, Major Jam, and Budge to finish on the podium at 8-1.
And all in the top 7 as it stands right now. That's a real possibility.
It is. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat watching my wallet.
Watching your wallet. You're going to hide your wallet. It's probably the best way to do it.
So Spider-Man insists that he's Mexican.
Spider-Man is basically full of shit, Mrs. Meeps. He's one of the funniest people I meet, but he's absolutely wired to the moon.
Yeah.
So take everything he says with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, well, there was a double wow there. Double wow comment from that he is Mexican. Bunsey and Jam to spin on turn 1 is the next comment.
Yeah, it's potential, has potential, alright.
I've caught that inside curb on turn 1 a couple of times, and it is so unforgiving when you do it. And we saw it with Mailman in the race during the week as well. We have Is a Hero.
Absolutely, and this track can be tough on track limits. I'm looking at Rory Drain here, he's coming around to beat his lap. We've got, this is, I think, what, the 6th or 7th longest track in the calendar, and it's fairly tough to, when you get a long track
Rory
like this,
Drain
it's very tough to
going in.
be consistent on every single turn. You have 18 corners here, 27 laps. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a really good race tonight.
It is. It's a huge. I will say this: as tough as it is, those S's in the first sector and all that. As tough as it is, it's an exciting track to drive, and it feels.
It's a beautiful track,
and it feels like an accomplishment when you get there. It's kind of like Spa in that regard.
Once you get into your routine, it's a fantastic track. It's fast, it's flowy. There's always some work to do, but it's a pleasure to do it. Of course, it's one of the only tracks I think we have that's a figure eight, which is pretty cool. Because that would, when you had to skate electric as a kid, you always just got a figure eight, So to race a figure eight, really,
More Mick approaching the line here now. He's going to vastly improve on his time. He is down by 4/10, so he didn't jump too far, but he is inside that. Buffalucas goes from 151 to 132.
Ronosaurus into third place there, 131.0.
And Elite Carbon remain
Fantastic track for Ronan.
3 people in the 131.0s. Who will be the first one to get into the 129s or the 130s? Oh, well, we've had a 130 with Griffin, but he's
very surprised to see that happen. I'd be very surprised to see it happen. The lads just don't have the
They don't.
Poor Griffin got hurt big time by that. It'd be interesting to see if he can come back to the race. I'm just on board here with Kaiser Gunner, who is in Sector 2 here.
Yeah, we're on board as well. He is coming through Sector 2 into the long left-hander almost. There he is now, into the long left-hander onto the back straight. This used to be DRS, but it's not anymore, right?
I actually, to be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't raced Japan this season. Obviously, with the race ban, I didn't do any kind of certain practice at all, so I don't actually know.
This back straight used.
This is Meeps. Do you have a favourite driver in wheel to wheel so far after a couple of races that you've watched?
As of today, my favourite is Wets McLaren.
Apart from me, of course.
Yeah. So Wets McLaren, just because I like the name.
Wets McLaren, nice.
But
it's like a detective. Kaiser Irish Gunner
He didn't improve there. He's still in 13th. Yeah.
It's either a porn star or a detective, really, isn't it?
That's what I said earlier. It's like a
He's on the case, like Wets McLaren. He might be Wets Mercedes next week, but this week he's Wets McLaren.
No, he will forever be Wets McLaren.
Absolutely, and we're looking at Budge now.
We have Kaiser round on track. He might have been on the second lap, but he's the round now, so that's that over with.
He's spun, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's round. Round.
This is Meeps. Talk to me when we're talking about the needle in the eye. Talk to me about Wets McLaren after the race, and then we're off air.
Okay.
And I must say, I was listening to the commentary at the start of the race, I must say, and I didn't appreciate your little dig there at the crofty.
The crofty thing. Yeah. Well, you can't. As you say, you can't have two crofties. But I will say, it obviously is tongue-in-cheek jest. Obviously, we really appreciate Jane, and we do appreciate your vast knowledge and expertise in the commentary box too. It is obviously. I think it's. It wouldn't be wheel to wheel if we didn't have a pop at some stage at each other. I think that's par for the course. Like
Budge is in Sector 2 now. He's 1 minute into his lap. Can he improve on 7th place? 7th is not bad, but I think he can improve on it.
Yeah.
With Bunsey, Jam,
I'm on with Bunsey here now at the moment as he comes down through sector 2 as well.
I think Bunsey might be a little bit behind. Bunsey, yeah, he's about 30 seconds behind Budge.
Right, so let's go to Budge and we follow Bunsey then, who is right behind.
Oh, Budge, it looks like Budge is weaving. It looks like Budge.
So he's warming up to go again, is he? Yeah, so we will see.
Quite possibly.
So what actually happened to Griffin?
Yeah, he is.
Sully is asking that here.
We're not sure.
Griffin was disqualified for going backwards on the track.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Here comes Bunsey.
Or as Spider-Man says, effed it.
Bunsey is on his final lap. Rhonosaurus 131 flat is going to be his final.
Rhonosaurus is coming around. He is across the line. Yeah, they're not improving.
Elite Carbon won't be posting a faster time.
Yeah, he's 15 seconds down. Mailman is through sector 1, and he's coming through sector 1. Mailman is he down through sector 1? He is down by almost 2/10. That is a
Wow.
So he's going to go into the 130s, and he is.
Budge is pushing hard here.
Yeah, he is right. He's
can.
right ahead of looks like Mailman here. Yes, he is. So we will follow him and we will watch Mailman closely as well. Oh yeah, this is going to be interesting. Budge. Oh, we have Elite Carbon's out.
Knockos is coming around. Knockos coming around as well for another lap.
Yeah. Oh, and he's onto the grass, but he's back out again. Did he lose time there?
Green Boyo is done.
Yeah.
So, Meeps, what's your race prediction?
We'll get onto that in just a moment because I'd say we're gonna have a hectic end. Budge
Knockos is not going to improve.
No, Budge coming around, and Budge is into the pits. So it is.
Budge is into the pits.
Bunsey has abandoned.
Once abandoned as well.
That's everybody.
We've got Mayo Man, Elite Carbon, Rhonosaurus
Oh, hold on,
the
Ron.
podium for both.
No, abandoned from Ruri Drain as well.
On the podium for the start,
Yeah.
I should say.
So yeah, Elite Carbon up there in second place. He's on one of them major bets.
For Griffin, I did say Griffin's time, would that have been? No, it wouldn't have been pole. He would have been second with his earlier
Yeah,
time.
Mayo Man improving to just under. But yeah, look, I mean that was a banker by Griffin. There was probably more in the tank there. Okay,
Absolutely.
we let Mrs. Meeps run through the quali, and we'll see. That is the end of quali now. We're just waiting for people to retire or like to finish in the pit.
Take it away, Mrs. Meeps.
So what am I looking at here?
Here, look, here we go. Here's your quali.
Alright, so we have...
Leave the microphone
On pole.
glass.
Shut up, you. So we have Mailman first.
Oh,
What?
yeah, it's okay.
So Elite Carbon, what happened there? Is he second or not?
Yeah, he's in second. Yeah.
Okay. So then we have Rhonosaurus. So maybe after the race he can let us know how we actually say it. Then Bunsey, Major Jam, Roy Train, Budge is a hero. It went away, Sam.
Yeah, it's up here now. We have Big Knockos in 9th, Blue Gunner in 10th, Supreme Boy in 11th, Welsh Wizard in 12th, Kaiser Gunner up to 13th, a quali lap, which is a rare occurrence, but he's there. He's ahead of his teammate, or his equivalent car, Verdi Vern. Buffalucas qualifying in his first race above Mick in 15th.
Ouch.
And 16th there, yes. Iron Man in 17th, and Griffin rounded out in 18th place as a result of that disqualification from a pole position spot when he's qualified, or when he said it. So,
Mormick won't be happy with that. Lads, I think we're going to have a very exciting race. You know that? It's going to be extremely exciting.
yeah. So, yeah. The Spanish Mexican finishing above his comparative, and I think Mormick is in a faster car, if I'm correct. He is, because he's in the Ferrari and the Alpine for.
I just got a message from Vern saying that Griffin is the second middle wheel driver to be disqualified for driving the wrong way in Japan. Who was the first, Vern? I don't recall. I think it would be remiss of me to. I genuinely don't recall. Maybe it is me. I don't know. I'm looking at the Ferris wheel here on our screens, folks, and I'm taken back to Romo Pran and Trico out days of commentating.
Yeah.
What a great time.
Yeah, everywhere. Every time they were looking out for that in They were looking out for that in every track. The most famous of it, which I think is Singapore. That's very, very apparent when you're coming around and you have all the fireworks going off at the end of the race at night as well. Very visible.
Absolutely. We have Romo Clan in the studio tonight, or not in the studio, on chat. It's the first time I've seen him in a while. He's asking who's saying don't hit the button, don't press X. Believe it or not, Budge is the tournament director for tonight. I thought give him small wins, give him a little bit of power. It went straight to his head, and he posted up in the Discord, "I am the captain now," with the appropriate Captain Phillips emoji or GIF. So yeah, it's gone to his head.
Excellent. Well, probably about par for the course.
Sully has come in here with his prediction, and he thinks it's going to be on podium Mayo Man, Bunsey, and Major Jam.
Mayo Man, Bunsey, and Major Jam. That's a fantastic prediction.
It's not a million miles away from what you'd expect, especially with but that means that Mayo for Jam likely to extend that lead at the top.
Yeah, it will. I think Mayo tonight will probably take the race away. It's going to be an interesting one. Strategy around here, you're probably looking at medium hard tyres. You might see some drivers starting on hards, which could potentially take them 20-21 laps, where they can go into softs towards the end of the race. So it'll be interesting to see. We might see some diverse strategies here. Safety cars, anything can happen, but I don't expect them to feature tonight, given how open the track is.
Well, we see. I think I'm always nervous about starting on the hards and having a safety car within the first 8 to 10 laps.
But I don't think you can start on softs. If a driver starts on softs tonight, it's you'd expect Kaiser to do something like that. It's an extremely big gamble. But if it pays off, you could be really in contention. The tyres. Well, we have here, and it's Welsh Wizard is the only one who starts on soft today. It's Mayo Man and Elite Carbon starting on the hards, with Ronosaurus going different with the mediums. Then we have Bunsey on the hards, same as Mayo Man, doesn't want to be caught out on an opposite strategy. But if you do the same, you might end up keeping things the same. Major Jam and Rory Drain in 5th and 6th on the mediums, followed by Budge on the hards. He's a man for the strategies and getting a good race in, so maybe that was probably the right strategy, as you said. Yeah, I think hard is definitely is the right strategy because it's flexible. You know, you can go to hard medium, you can go to hard soft. Depending on how things go. If you start on soft, you're restricting yourself a lot. Mediums, you probably get 15 or 16 laps at a stretch. So I think hard's definitely the one to start with. Ronosaurus taking medium.
He's doing something different to the other three in the top 4. We have everybody bar Buffalucas though going hards in the bottom 6. So that 12th position Welsh Wizard obviously looking to get positions early. But as you say, he may end up, unless he gets a safety car early, that strategy is risky at best.
It's very risky. I would say Welsh Wizard is pretty much banking on a safety car around lap 4, between lap 4 and 6, let's say. He'll be pitting for hards then. It is a gamble, but unless there's a pile up on turn 1, I'd be surprised if there's a safety car.
We saw that last week, didn't we? Where there was a safety car and it was too early to be any benefit to anyone, so that's kind of the worry, I suppose. Well,
a lot of them did stay with the strategy that they went on because like that, it was lap 4 or 5.
It was lap 4.
Look, I mean, that's interesting. Let's go back. I'm going to go to the position change for race start like we do, and then we will go back to the tyres once we have a lap or two in the books. So Mayo Man taking us around. He's getting used to this, leading us in a race around the track. It might be the story of the season. Mayo Man being the closest contender 2 years running as well, in second place. He's on a mission to end that runner-up streak.
Absolutely, Mayo Man should, is definitely the wheel-to-wheel championship in him for sure. He's always thereabouts. Himself and Bunsey, though, likely to take the Williams car for the second third of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
He's definitely on that, but
when he's not in a faster car than his direct competitors, let's say.
One would even say that he's just living up to the Mayo name, one championship every 60 years.
Absolutely. Here we go. We're about to go lights out. Let's do the honours, Meeps.
It's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and we have...
And away we go indeed.
we have Mayo Man retaining the pole position going into turn 1. Elite Carbon slotting right in behind them. The only person to lose out at the start is Bunsey, who's 2 positions down. Rory Drain up to Major Jam retaining his spot, and Rhinosaurus is up to 2nd.
Someone's off there.
We have
Griffin
someone
off the track at the start.
What a great, very up 4
6
positions. Oh my goodness! And we have Griffin up 4. So we have we have a clash between Iron Man and Buffalucas after turn 2. It's Kaiser Gunner all the way down to 16th, and Is a Heroes all the way back. How did Welsh Wizard do? Welsh Wizard doing right well, getting up 3 positions to 9th on those. So it's paying off now, but will it pay off in the long term? He is looking like he's...
Blue Gunner takes...
Yeah, he's got the pace.
Wizard and Blue Gunner having a bit of argy-bargy.
We have a big one. Elite Carbon losing out to Rhinosaurus. Rory Drain, a massive start, up 2 positions from 6th to 4th. Bunsey losing out early, so he must have got a really bad start.
Welsh Wizard all over the back of Blue Gunner here in 9th position.
Yeah, it is nut to butt all the way down this back straight. It is only Mormick who is separated in 13th. So yeah, it is
Supreme Bio making a move on
Welsh Wizard. Supreme Bio is gone.
Supreme Bio takes big knockouts. He takes
It's back and forward.
Welsh
They're
Wizard
side by side going down the
Blue Gunner.
Side by side going down the pit straight. And who's going to break first? It is Big Knockos. He decides to back out of that, because normally when you're on the outside of a turn like that, you'd get bumped off if you don't do it right. That is a nice livery for the McLaren on Supreme Bio and Major Jam.
Welsh Wizard all over Blue Gunner again. He's within 2/10.
Blue Gunner.
Yeah. Close racing here, folks.
Certainly is. We have everybody from Elite Carbon all the way down to Big Knockos in the DRS train right out to DRS. Big Knockos falling away from Supreme Boy. Supreme Boy, another one of those fast drivers with a mistake in him.
Absolutely. And Mayo Man Rhinosaurus kind of building up a 1.5 second lead from the back here. Nearly 2 seconds. Yeah. Ronan all over the back of Mayo.
We're joining that live. Rhinosaurus only 2.5 tenths down. He will be looking to make a move as soon as DRS is activated. We have 65% versus
still
Mayo Man, ever so slightly larger DRS. But now they look like they're even, because Mayo Man is trying to retain that lead. But
if you look at 1 and 2, Rhinosaurus as well is right behind Mayo Man.
Yeah, Mayo and Ronan and Blue Gunner and Welsh is where the action is at the moment, folks.
It is at the front, and we are DRS enabled.
Boyo making a move on there. No, too far back. Welsh Wizard.
Wait, so Griffin's back.
Griffin is back. Yeah, that was only Griffin with a penalty though. Oh, and Griffin is off. He goes off on turn 2. Oh my, Griffin is having a howler to start this race, but he is up 5 positions from last. Let's go down and change to tyres and see how we stand there. Welsh Wizard not getting the benefit.
Jam on the back of Drain here. Major Jam within 2 to 3 tenths. He's drifting now.
He's drifting. I'm just looking here. The closest battle on track is actually Welsh Wizard. He's come down into the hairpin. Oh, and he makes a move on him. Oh, that was dangerous.
Contact made with the rear left.
That was dangerous.
That looked like contact.
That was contact, yeah, from Welsh Wizard as he tried to dive down. Being frustrated here by Blue Gunner, who's on the mediums.
And Budge will be happy with that. It'll give him some breathing.
Certainly will. If Blue Gunner's concentrating on the guy behind him, he can concentrate on the guy.
Yeah, Rory Drain on Carbon now for 3rd position.
Yeah, we're up there now, and that is tight for the top to those 3 guys, all within. Rory Drain is flying. Oh, that's because Elite Carbon is on the longer strategy with the hards. So this Rhinosaurus and Rory Drain getting good advantage, but not taking over everybody on the hards as it happens.
No, absolutely not. Bunsey now looking to pass Major Jam for 5th position, and he does it under DRS.
Yeah. he will get.
A brilliant battle here between third and sixth place.
Yeah, it looks like that battle will continue on for a few laps yet. Although Bunsey is.
Rory Train looking to make a move on Carbon
He
now.
won't do it in the S's, that's for sure. But
No.
or if he did, he a brave man. Rhonosaurus backing off a little bit. He's about 6/10 down now from where he was within the 2/10 range. The next closest battle on track is Supreme Bio on the back of Vern again. These guys having a back and forward here as it happens.
And Jam and Bunsey nearly making contact there as they drift back out to half a second.
Yeah, it will be a little bit of in and out as it relates to these things, because this is a technical track that has passing opportunities, but they're most of the time will be down into turn one or on the home straight, like unless you get the run out on the back straight here. So
yeah, there's most definitely overtaking opportunities here on the back straight, some of the corners, but some of those flowy bends, very flowy flowy tracks sometimes be hard.
You'll gain up, but you won't be overtaken, so you'll be dead close. So it's about getting the better exit out into these long straights.
It's about patience. Which, if I was driving there at the moment, I probably wouldn't have. Blue Gunner closing up on Budge.
Rhonosaurus has dropped outside the DRS. What the hell happened there? A bit of a wobble. So Mayo Man setting fastest lap. So Mayo Man just had an extraordinary good fourth lap. He is now 1.5 seconds ahead of Rhonosaurus and gives himself that breathing room, so he doesn't have to. He didn't use the DRS. Rhonosaurus is down to 50% and Mayo Man is still at 65. So I don't know how the hell he pulled that lap out. Maybe he was
1.3 seconds out. Mayo Man is looking pretty comfortable now as Bunsey looks at the ass of Elite Carbon.
all over the gearbox. Yeah. 2/10 but he is coming into that. He is coming into that windy part of the track. He wants to set himself up nicely for that back straight, definitely. Who else we got?
Yeah, this fourth to eighth position here is going to be really exciting, guys.
And Supreme Bio just outside the points, 2/10 off Vern, still stuck there. The problem here is Vern's getting the help from Welsh Wizard, who interestingly, and Wizard is after going well wide in the hairpin, and Vern makes a turn. So Vern now leads this three-way pack, and it's going to be a. Oh my God, Welsh Wizard! He's all over the back of him, and he goes wide again and gives a great opportunity to Supreme Bio. And he's off the track. What's going on with these? Are these softs dying on lap 5 already? Has he burnt them up?
You'll probably get to lap 7 max on these soft tires.
Major jam with a 3-second penalty. Sorry, there we go. And that's Mayo Man.
Oh, he won't like
Mayo
that.
Man and Rhonosaurus. Yeah, that doesn't help Major Jam. Rhonosaurus setting fastest lap.
Soft tires will start underperforming now at this stage. Vern, though, leading this pack is not good. People are not going to want to be stuck behind him. He's known as a defensive wall, and I don't think that's anything got to do with being skillful. It's just how terrible he is as a driver. He's probably listening to this now, so that might put him off when he's seeing DNF. Budge now making a move on Major Jam as a massive DRS train ahead of him.
Budge going to get promoted up one place as it stands with that penalty. That's going to be crucial at the end. Depends on how this race goes, but we are on lap 6 and Rhonosaurus is back into DRS. He is burning up that ERS to get in there. He is now down to 36% ERS, while Mayo Man is still up at 60. So Rhonosaurus.
Fantastic battle here, Bunsey.
Oh, more Mick.
Bunsey looking to tell.
We have Supreme Bio who's out.
Supreme Bio was gone, but Bunsey is overtaking Rory Train. No, he's not. Fantastic move there. Budge just lying in the wings there with Major Jam and Bunsey ahead of him, hoping that some of them mess up, make some contact and strike.
It looks like we have a safety car.
What happened to Supreme Bio?
We will have to go around and join Iron Man to see if he bypasses Supreme. But
we're looking for a safety car.
Yeah, we've got safety cars sitting there.
Yes, drivers have slowed under safety car conditions.
Iron Man.
So is this going to benefit Welsh Wizard now? If he can,
it sure is.
He can go in and.
But Welsh Wizard is all the way back down to 14th, and there is the safety car as Iron Man joins the lead lap once again.
Absolutely, great spot there, Mrs. Meeps. This is perfect timing for Welsh Wizard. He might have gone a lap too late, but he'll be happy now. He'll go in with hard to finish.
But unfortunately,
just looking at the leaders here, Griffin Griffin up 8 positions from the start of the race. Biggest gainer. Big knockouts down.
So
4.
Is a Hero into the pit. So everybody, Rory Drain into the pit. Who we got? Rory Drain starts, Major Jam, Blue Gunner, Is a Hero, Knockos, Welsh Wizard in there on the softs. Buffa Lucas is in, Mormick, Is a Hero, and Iron. Iron Man hasn't gone in. He's catching up. Iron Man on the softs. That's an odd one to go early, considering
He went in on the soft.
no,
didn't he?
he's staying on the softs. Mormick
is
on
on
softs, but everybody from Rory Drain and ninth back is on the hards. Mayo Man staying out.
That's fine.
All the medium runners except for Onosaurus going with the
I
hards.
can understand possibly staying out for mediums. You might go hard. It's a 50-50 call, I think. If you're on mediums, you could go on hard to finish. But certainly, if you're on softs, you're going in for hards, and if you're going in, you're not putting on softs. I don't know what those guys are at.
Mormick.
Just looking at penalties here,
How is that going to play out then?
Griffin.
Well, what you're looking at here now is Welsh Wizard has gone hards to the end, obviously, but he's now back in 16th position. So that soft run didn't go well. The medium runners all changing. Although Big Knockos has gone medium for his second stint.
He's not going to get to the end of the race on
Not
mediums.
with 20
so
laps.
Knockos, Mormick, and Iron Man will be hoping for another safety car, or they're going to find.
I think they're looking at that, and considering we've had one within the first 6 laps, it certainly is a real possibility that we get another one before the end of this race. Who else we got? So
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him tonight. I'd love to see Supreme Boyle's footage later on
Yeah.
to see what happened, because it's a fairly open
Yeah.
track. Looking at penalties, Griffin with a 3-second and Major Jam with a 3-second.
So what you're looking at is all the hard runners, realistically, who were from the start, are now in the top 8. But this is not ideal for them, obviously, because now the gaps that they would have hoping to break out isn't going to serve them well. But if they get a safety car within 5 to 10 laps, they can go medium to the end, and they would be in a great position.
Yeah, you'll get about, again, pushing it, you'll get about 15, 16 laps out of medium. So they would have probably hoped for a little bit.
And they'll be on the lighter chassis at that stage as well, with the petrol being used up and the tyres.
Absolutely, but I wouldn't put it past some of them to stay out despite safety car and look for soft tyres. It's going to be dependent when that comes out, I guess.
We can't have another Mayo Man dart into the pits to retain the lead in the. If he does that again, that will contravene rules. Was it 6H? I think it was something to that effect.
Yeah, and I think it's probably important to note as well, Meeps and Mrs. Meeps, that these drivers that are on the 7-lap-old hard tyres are probably have a slight advantage. Depending on the safety car lads, their tyres are pretty warm. They're going to be cooling down now, of course, at slower speeds, but they're going to be a little bit higher than the hots or the hard tyres that just came out of the pits. So the people, Rory Drain down to Knockos, anyone that's newly on hard, they're going to be scrambling now to try and get those temperatures.
But those guys, and this is interesting. We have a battles of two different strategies here. Realistically, the guys at the back from Knockos to Iron Man are looking for something to happen, except for maybe Welsh Wizard, who's on the hards. But the guys who are on the 1-lap old hards now, they're likely going to the end, obviously. So realistically, the fortunes will either be the top 8 or the bottom, the next 6, I should say. They're on two very different. They're hoping for very different fortunes in this race at this stage. You know what I mean? They're looking for the opposite of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest with you, the only ones I'd kind of be thinking that are going to feature who just pit is possibly Blue Gunner and Major Jam.
And Major Jam with the penalty too.
Rory Drain, an outside chance, but I think the other guys, I'm not seeing anything from them in this race unless we have a massive upset in the latter stages.
XL, we have some comments here from XL Sully. Mayo flying, must have had an extra Weetabix, certainly a real possibility. Michael James, let's get this big win, Mayo man. And XL Sully again saying Drain in with a great chance here. Rory Drain of the other strategy with the 1 lap, but we're away. Welsh Wizard 3-second time penalty on the restart. So that's the cold.
Oh, wow.
That's the cold tires. Oh, and who's that dropping? Kaiser Gunner dropping like a hot snot, and Vernie Vern. So Rory Drain up 2 places from the start already, and Mayo Man getting a great go away or get away from Rhinosaurus.
It's nearly half a second already. Great start for
And
Mayo.
Elite Carbon not holding on to Rhonosaurus the way he would have liked as well. Bit of slow one, but Budge up to 4th on that restart. What a start from him. He is now looking...
Yeah, he's good on the restart in fairness.
Yep.
Major Jam, hot on tails of terrain here.
Yeah, we're looking at that, and we're looking at the guys just ahead. We still, like, Budge, obviously, because he jumped 2 positions, he's outside the DRS when it comes back, but nearly so. Elite Carbon in and out of it at the moment. Rhonosaurus, though, at this stage, the medium to hard opportunity is now starting to cross over, I think, because he will be stopping earlier, and he hasn't had the opportunity to get past Mayo and stretch out a little bit and gain the advantage of that fast start.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like Mormick is doing much with those softs yet. He's kind of around the...
No, it was a terrible decision by Mormick, and it's probably a little bit of karma for reporting me last week.
Everything that Mormick does now will be a terrible decision. That's guaranteed. Buffalucas running wide there as we have it. Yeah. He was well within his rights, but I think it's under the circumstances, you say, that the result of it was
absolutely.
Okay, so
Blue Gunner chasing the back of Byrne here.
Griffin from last to 5th, who is now all over the back of Budge, and Griffin is a lot faster in this Alfa Romeo than Budge is in the Haas. But Budge won't give up this place lightly. Griffin, though, does have the 3-second penalty.
We talked about it before the race. We know Griffin is fast, but he's error prone, and he hasn't made his error yet. Let's hope Quali was his only one.
Yeah.
Blue Gunner on the ass here, Bernie Byrne. He's going to struggle to get past him. Griffin now looking at Budge. He's in 2/10.
Yeah. We have
Budge, in fairness, he won't panic. Budge, won't feel the stress.
And Budge knows where his battles are. You know what I mean? That's the thing. He doesn't. He knows that Griffin's on those tires, but that's a real. Oh, it's side by side.
Side by side.
Coming around that corner side by side. Budge retains it. Griffin backs out and tucks in behind him. But he will be vulnerable there. But Budge just has to keep him.
Budge, he's one of the greatest defenders. I hope he doesn't hear this, but he's one of the greatest defenders I've seen. He's very, very good. He positions his car really well. It's very tough for people to get past.
Yeah, he knows where to put it on track. That's for sure. Yeah. So just looking down the.
Verne has dropped back a couple of positions. Mormick is now looking to get on top of Verne.
Yeah. Buffalucas is now challenging Welsh Wizard in 15th position. I know it's a long way back. And DRS is enabled. Oh, what a bit of a jump down the inside there. Oh, and we have a car around. It is a Mercedes. It is the Mercedes of Is a Hero. There's Is a Hero's mistake. He is down to 16th position.
Griffin just took Budge. Action all over the place. Griffin has taken 4th position off Budge.
that was expected under DRS conditions for sure.
Mormick has taken Verne.
Budge holds on. If Budge holds on to Griffin, he may get dragged around here and get an opportunity at some stage if he keys the DRS.
I think Griffin is going to push away.
He is lightning quick, and he's now up. He is now up 15th position. Likely with that kind of a performance, he's going to get driver of the day.
Buffalucas passing Welsh Wizard.
Yeah. So Buffalucas is making
contact,
his.
but I think he did it cleanly.
Mormick, where did Mormick up to 11th? Just one off the points now, and he is hunting down Kaiser in that Red Bull.
Major Jam closing on Drain, who's closing on Griffin. We've got a massive battle here again between 5th and 8th position.
Welsh Wizard repaying the Buffalucas stat there. So, Mrs. Meeps.
Good to see Buffalucas. He's a good racer. He's safe, he's clean, he's ambitious. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know if Romocan is still listening, but the guy speaks Spanish. We're going to need you to translate the wheel-to-wheel rules by audiobook for us during the week while you're doing nothing else.
So, Mrs. Meeps, the as we go in the as we've had this race now, we're 12 laps in. How do you think, and what do you think has been the big changes, or what do you think is? How do you think it's forming up for the end of this race?
Are you asking me or
Mrs. Meeps here?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it looks kind of like what we expected, where Mayo Man and Bunsey are. Where is Bunsey actually?
5th.
Yeah, so they're, up near the top. Budge is doing well, which you expect from a 3-time champion. I don't know, nothing really, Griff is doing is well now, but again, the penalty's gonna bite him in the ass at the tail end of this. So it's hard to.
Buffa Lucas passing Welsh Wizard again. Interesting battle going on there.
And Mormick is losing ground, so the softs definitely didn't pay off here.
Yeah, he's on lap 5 of those. They're coming out. But Iron Man, 8 laps in on those softs, and he's running wide on all of the corner, and has just received a penalty for such. And 2 cars pass him on that.
Yeah, Iron Man needs
and we have Is a Hero into a wall. We saw that live.
Wow.
Is a Hero into a wall, and he has he has a very badly damaged wing.
His front right wing seems to be gone. I was actually only going to say to you, Meeps, I breathed, whatever the expression is, a sigh of relief when I see big knuckles and heroes at the back of the field. I'm not going to lose my
No, I think you're all right
He's
now.
lost his right end plate. His right end plate
Gone.
is gone.
So that's that's an out of sequence stop for him now, being on those hards.
If I was him, I wouldn't be stopped, but I think he can continue to race like that.
Is that an orange and black?
Main man making a move now on Elite Carbon.
It's not an orange and black flag. That's a very interesting thing, because we've had a few stops in F1 this year because of a wing plate, but they were hanging off in danger of flying off. This is a complete break, so he can go ahead.
Yeah, I've never seen a black and orange flag in this particular simulator, so I'd be surprised if that comes out. It'd be interesting to see, though. Mayo Man and Elite Carbon within DRS zone, so they're one to watch for sure. Griffin on Fudge also high up in the priority list.
We had a swap around at the top. Mayo Man has just lost a ton of time. Where did he go?
Yeah, we must have missed something there.
So Mayo Man must have had a wobble. He's into third, Elite Carbon and Rhonosaurus. Now Rhonosaurus needs to gain the advantage of these mediums, because at the end of the day, Mayo Man's going to have the mediums on the lighter car for the remainder of this race, so he will be lightning quick. So not hugely penalising right now, but Budge is only 1.5 per seconds behind him, ahead of Griffin once again, who's on the back of his gearbox. So do you think is that the cue for Rhonosaurus to take the win on this, Mrs. Meeps?
Did he pit under the safety car?
No, all the guys are on 12 lap old. See all up from Bunsey up.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he's gonna have to kind of make it count now before he switches tires.
Yeah. The guys on the new hards, like you were saying, Chameleon, haven't overtaken these guys that were on the 13 lap old.
Carbon and Mayo having a battle there, and Major Jam and Bunsey having a battle.
We have
Major Jam. Will he get Bunsey?
Bit squirrely from Bunsey as he comes around turn 1.
Doesn't put Mayo Man is after getting his second place back from Elite
Carbon. We saw that live, Elite Carbon. But that's going to be an intriguing battle. It shows you, and again, Elite Carbon, his mistake hasn't come. We are hesitant to see.
It's not.
We're hesitant to see if that might materialise at some stage.
Listen, let's hope it
We
doesn't.
don't wish it. It's just
they arrive when it just clicks.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to call this race. I think Mayo Man still has what it takes to win this race. Rhonosaurus really needs to make the most out of these mediums now. But the problem is they're coming.
They're right at the extent of it. He is going to be stopping, and he's only got a 1.7.
The hards still have a little bit in them,
And I think the hards do, and not only that, when Rhonosaurus goes to hards, he's going to have a couple of slow laps when he comes out. It's not a 1.6 advantage is not good enough after 14 laps.
No, it's definitely not.
So Mayo Man, I think, still odds on. Here's Major Jam. We're live with Major Jam as he passes by Bunsey. Oh, and he pushes him wide.
Bunsey runs wide.
Bunsey has gone off track.
Wow.
Oh, that was I think they were fair. They were side by side there. Bunsey just not been able to retain it. How much did Major Jam play in that role in that?
Blue Gunner looking to take Rory Drain here in DRS.
Yeah.
And not a problem to him. He takes
absolutely. Those guys on the same strategy at this stage with the same tyres. So those guys are racing for real. More mix speeding the pit lane. It is for some people because they don't slow down. Mormick now onto the mediums. Onto the mediums for the remaining 12 laps. He's all right for that, I think.
I'm getting a little bit of echo. I can hear my own voice, which I wasn't hearing moments ago.
I don't know. Yeah, nothing's changed. I will lower you down a little bit just to.
More penalty points, sir.
Soft to the end will be rapid. Sully, you are correct. Drain in with a chance. Oh, we've said that before. He is definitely in with a chance. It's an interesting race as it develops here.
So we have more Mick.
Is Griffin making moves on Budge here?
Yeah, and I'm just looking more Mayo Man now down inside the DRS once again. So so that minor wobble, whatever it may have been, short-lived for Rhinosaurus, as it's clear now the better tyre is the hard, as Mayo Man's making oodles of time up on him.
Absolutely, and I was considering checking people's fuel, but I don't think it's going to be a major concern here.
Yeah.
It's quite possible people under fuel, but they would have made that
Yeah,
back.
they've already had one safety car, so it looks like they're safe.
They should be
Yeah.
okay.
It looks like Welsh.
But again, we're looking at a huge battle between 2nd and 7th. Sorry, Mr.
No, I was just gonna say it looks like Welsh Wizard, Mormick, and Airman have picked up penalties there.
Yeah, let's go look. We look at the live penalty situation. It is 3 seconds for everybody but Mormick, who has 8. He's in a tough position now. I don't think that's going to serve him well. He's certainly not going to get into the points at this rate, being 15th with 8 seconds. So
very impressed with Buffalo Lucas in 12th position.
Yeah.
No penalties. First league race.
And he's all over the back of Vernie Vern as well.
He is. I'm just looking at him here. It's great to see. Well done, Buffalo Lucas.
Yeah, good first rate. There's Blue Gunner with a 3-second time penalty.
Blue Gunner picks up a penalty as Griffin now makes a move on Budge.
He is within 2 tenths. He backed out. He backed out of it.
Is that the exit?
Hold on. No, it looked like everybody slowed down there for just a moment. We are live on with Major Jam, and we're on Major Jam because Major Jam, Budge, and Griffin are the hot ticket right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's see. Although Kaiser Gunner now starting to make an impact on Rory Drain. Although, to be fair, Rory Drain onto the end, whereas Kaiser will have to stop. So Rhinosaurus has to be thinking about stopping now as he approaches lap 15 or lap 16.
Yeah,
is he going in?
Griffin just about to take Budge. I can't take my eyes off Griffin and Budge, but Rhinosaurus definitely.
And there is Mayo Man into the pits first. He's going to try and do the undercut.
As Griffin overtakes Budge.
Yeah.
That's a very early pit for Mayo Man on the hard tyres. I'm very surprised.
We have that.
I wonder if he picked up damage.
No, I think he's going to go 10 laps to the end.
Did we have a safety car? Did he get in before the safety car?
Oh wow!
Yeah, we have.
He did, and it was a safe entry because I seen that from where we were on board.
Wow!
So we have Mayo Man.
So wow, Buffalo Lucas with a drive-through penalty,
through.
speeding under safety car. Oh God, that's going to kill him after such an impressive race, and he's in the points to boot.
Did Mayo Man see something up ahead that
must
we
have
didn't
known
see,
something.
or that the other drivers
He
didn't
is
see?
now.
He
is now on the mediums. Change made. He is coming around through sector 1. Everybody else all to stop. Yeah, he has, after getting a huge advantage.
Fantastic pit. I'm sorry. I have had a couple of drinks and I can't recall. Did that safety car come out before he pit, or did he go in?
It wasn't a safety car when he was, but when he was in there, he didn't get the full benefit, but he got partial benefit. So.
Wow.
So he is.
I wonder if he saw something. I wonder if he saw a yellow thing on the map up ahead and presumed the safety car might come.
He made a hell of a call if that was the case. Let's look.
We also have I'm a Hero in Big Knuckles who pitted and are on softs.
The unfortunate thing for Mayo Man here is he is 20 seconds behind the leader, and under safety car, that's more than a pit stop. So he didn't get the advantage.
Mayo should be in good. Mayo should be in good shoes here. Rhinosaurus is going in.
Yeah, I'm watching all of them. 5-second penalty for Rhinosaurus. Oh my God, that's killer.
He won't be happy with that.
Rhinosaurus
Mayo
has thrown away the
really
championship.
He's going to move. Everyone is pitting ahead of Mayo Man. He'll get ahead of them all. And he's
so I'm going to follow Mayo Man around. Mayo Man is going really slowly.
What's this?
He is on the pit straight now.
Right
he's on the pit straight. No, because Blue Gunner stayed out. Rhinosaurus is going soft to the end.
Blue Gunner won't be a problem.
Soft to the end, and he got out ahead of Mayo Man. Mayo Man is right behind Rhinosaurus, but he is on the mediums. Rhinosaurus on the softs. Blue Gunner.
That I suppose for Ronan, that's a good decision with the penalty he has, if he was intending to go in and putting on softs without the penalty, it's pushed them way past their limit. So, but it'll be interesting to see with the penalty what it does.
Sully says that safety car has ruined Mailman. I think Mailman is in all right position now. He's ahead of Alika. It's net where he was, and those softs will be hanging off the car after 10 laps. So Mailman is on the right tyre to the end of this race. Blue Gunner is going to find it difficult to stay there though.
If somebody's commenting that the safety car ruined Mailman's race, he was obviously pitting extremely early, which was a gamble.
Yeah.
I think you'd be happy with that. To be honest.
I think it may yet work out. I think those softs will be in. We saw both Mormick and Ironman on 8-lap all softs, and they were running wide, getting penalties. Buffa Lucas, another penalty. His race is coming apart. This is what happens, I suppose.
But listen, and it's impressive that he got this far without penalty. And
so just obviously a few scenarios there that he wouldn't have been too familiar with being his first race. Budge on the mediums, Bunsey on the mediums, Griffin and Carbon on the mediums. Griffin, that safety car was absolutely ideal for Griffin because he got back out in 5th after starting the race in 19th. He's on the mediums.
Driver of the day, I think, goes to Griffin.
Major Jam and Rory Drain taking the soft option as well as Buffa Lucas, who went soft. But unfortunately, with 8 seconds penalty within 2 laps, that's him relegated to the no points, I think.
Well, listen, depending on how long the safety car goes around, the softs might not be as bad a shout as I first thought.
No, I agree. I think
6 or 7 laps out of them.
Yeah,
max.
but I think that the mediums will be running really well after 6 or 7 laps. Whereas so unless Rhinosaurus gets some sort of advantage here early on, he might, if he gets the advantage and pulls away, he may be able to stay there. But I don't know if he'll get far enough ahead. You know what I mean, for that turnover.
Yeah, medium is definitely the safe choice.
Yeah.
Soft tires
I agree.
it could be a clever gamble.
Yeah.
But it's
and that 5-second penalty is like he has to open the gap of 5 seconds and then retain it through the crossover. So that's going to be a huge end to this race.
Ronan with the 5-second penalty, Gunner with 3, Griffin and Jam with 3. Wedgwood with 6, Mormick with 8, and Buffa Lucas still has to service drive-through. Let's hope.
I agree with Sully here. I think the undercut that Mailman would have otherwise had, the safety car was just a little bit mistimed for him. But it was, look, he got in and out, like he's where he was. But yeah, absolutely, I think. Mrs. Meeps.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed? Who do you want now to take this this win? Bearing in mind,
I think Mayo Man, and I think he has a good shot because, of the top 6, only he and Elite Carbon don't have penalties.
You're not wrong. Safety car in this lap. Yeah. Go ahead.
Safety car is in. So let's have a look at how slow Blue Gunner takes him around and when he makes his move. I personally, I'd like to see a new winner of the race tonight. I'd like to see things tight and competitive. So I'll be hoping for Bluey. I don't think he's going to do it, but like to Ronan or Carbon, I'd be happy to the race.
And he's taking it slow, and he only went on the last corner. And what a start by Mayo Man, who's all over the side of Rhinosaurus. But look at this! It's 3 wide going into the first corner. We have to go. Wow! And this is where Mayo. It's a tap, and it is Rhinosaurus around Mayo Man retaining the lead. But Elite Carbon making a double overtake.
Griffin is around. He's supposed
to have I love it. He's now in. But look at this. Oh my God! Elite Carbon now leads this race.
Another penalty.
Budge is absolutely thrilled.
Budge is up to 6. Budge is up to 6, and Elite Carbon, what a restart by him. He's after overtaking both of them on a 3-way battle. He had the middle of the track, and he decided, hey, I'm going to retain this spot.
Yeah, it's a Welsh Wizard now making a move on Vern. Very tough to get around Vern. Yeah, like I can only imagine the chat in the drivers' chat at the moment is probably people are not happy. People being told to shut up.
and this is
But Griffin and Rhonosaurus, I feel so sorry for you. I think the stewards will have a tough time this week with that one.
three wide. Three wide. It would be difficult to say who should have backed out. They were all.
It's going to be a tough
Yeah.
one. Elite Carbon all over the ass of Blue Gunner here. Mayo Man half a second out. Worry Drain making a move on Budge.
Yeah, but Major Jam is happy with this because there's a couple of guys there he would have finished behind realistically. Now behind him.
Absolutely.
Welsh Wizard making the pass on Verdi Vern. Welsh Wizard making the pass on Verdi
Here
Vern.
comes Drain on Budge.
Yeah, and I think that's partially.
Oh, this is going to end badly. No, Budge has more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Nearly getting the cut back, but he decided to back out of that as well. Budge is playing a long game here. I think Rory Drain is on 3-lap old tyres, so soft, so he's probably thinking, oh.
Elite Carbon on Blue Gunner.
So we have Verdi Vern and Rhonosaurus in the pit.
Yeah, Buffa Lucas is up to 13th now, but with those 8 seconds, not likely. Vern getting out
Serious
of
battle between second and fourth. Major Jam, Mayo and Carbon.
Vern getting out ahead of Rhonosaurus there. Probably won't stay there. Rhonosaurus is very, very quick. But we have a major ding-dong battle going on at the front.
I think you need to go to Major Jam there and have a look at this front battle.
Elite Carbon now within 3/10 of Blue Gunner.
Rona takes Vern there, that's okay.
Yeah, that was probably expected. Oh, and that was a real run wide by Blue Gunner, who is now on 14-lap old hards. And that means, he's going to be a sitting duck to a 3-lap old mediums in a lap or so. As that crossover, you will see, I have to imagine we'll see a much slower lap from Blue Gunner than Elite Carbon. So Elite Carbon on for the win as it stands. He's on the newest tyres in the top 4. And here it is.
He can probably go to the end. Yeah, he can probably go to the end of these. He can go.
Yeah, he absolutely can. He's only got 5 laps remaining, and he's on the ideal.
But Elite Carbon on the mediums right behind him.
No, that's
2/10. He's going to get him the DRS, and obviously Blue Gunner with the penalty. Major Jam putting Mayo under pressure.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of feedback. I'm gonna like you're commenting on your stream there, are you? Welcome in to everybody on Chameleon stream as well. We're just gonna mute that just for a second to see if it improves, and we'll call you back in just a second. I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Major 2/10 up on Mayo Man.
What?
Where are you getting feedback?
There was a few people who were saying early crash out tonight. Sorry, Sully. Yeah. Just a few things there.
Yeah, with Major Jam. Can you hear me, Meeps? This is Meeps.
Yes.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. I was just trying to change your sound levels here. Okay.
That's okay. Griffin on Mormick.
Yeah, we're watching the top because those top 5 budge back to 7th because he's not.
Griffin takes him over Mormick with ease.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the top.
Yeah.
Elite Carbon all over Blue Gunner's arse here.
Yeah, the top 4 are in a. Top 5 are in a ding dong battle as they all head around the final corner down to the pit straight. Yeah. Mayo Man, it hasn't. Oh, hold on. Major Jam 3-second time penalty.
Oh, Major Jam with a 3-second penalty. Oh.
Yeah.
That's it. That's Major Jam done and dusted.
Yeah, he's outside. He's probably outside the points.
Exceeding track limits.
Yes, it certainly was exceeding track limits. He's pushing hard.
Did a Mr. Kipling on it.
We're going to ask you to comment a little less so we can get more people in here. You can tell me when something's going on. Watch the things there. Appreciate it. Major Jam is close, but he's 6 seconds there. I did. That was a nice way.
So Spider-Man says that there's another safety car. He predicts on
Safety
lap
car.
23.
Which is
So
this one.
This one. He says it's coming.
Does he know something we don't? Is he the executive? Could very well be. But look at this.
It's gonna be like a stinger across the
I
track.
know, Tony. You know.
Elite Carbon is putting on a hell of a show. Blue Gunner retaining the lead in this race is an absolute feat of. He is going to lose the lead because Mayo and all the way down is going to go. Elite and Mayo don't have the penalties, but Elite Carbon shown.
Elite Carbon literally, I think, might have made contact with Blue Gunner.
I think
there.
he did because now Mayo is all over the back of him, and Blue Gunner's gone away. Oh, he got a bad exit out.
Gone Wizard.
As they race, and is Mayo going to do it this time? Oh, Mayo's around, he's in the wall. Oh my God, that's the end of Mayo's race. He has no wing. We saw that live. Whoa, there will be.
The stewards are not going to be
happy. The stewards are not going to be happy, and Mayo will definitely report that. I don't know if he is entitled to, but certainly now Elite Carbon is hot favourite to take this win. That puts Bunsey up to 4th. That is a major development in this. Bunsey now in net P2.
Wow, Major Jam now is in third position. Elite Carbon has a bet on it 6-1 if he can take the race now.
Oh wow, that is an inspired bet this week. Budge up to 6th, Rory Drain. Budge is now was inside the DRS of Rory Drain. Maybe now Budge's tyres coming good and Bunsey or Rory's a little bit faster, but Rory Drain is fast. So who knows?
Mormick into the points, 10th, Mailman down in 11th, out of the points. As Major Jam takes Elite Carbon.
Oh wow!
And does it successfully.
Yeah. The only thing is now that all the guys, I don't think Elite Carbon is getting involved because ultimately he gets the win here, despite the fact that these guys are in front of him.
Yeah.
What are we looking at in penalties?
We're looking at 8 seconds, I think, for. Is it? 6 seconds for Major Jam and 3 for Blue Gunner. And there's Elite Carbon repaying the.
Major Jam has 6, Blue Gunner has 3.
And Elite Carbon repaying the taking him over. So he's taking that back on track. But
Mormick on Wizard.
But this plays into Blue Gunner as well. Maybe there's Welsh Wizard with another penalty. Well, Buffalo is up to 13 seconds now in penalties. Mormick 8. Welsh Wizard with
Mormick
9.
Major Jam.
Yeah, I think he needs to wait till it won the straights because these curvy areas are not a good idea. He got smashed twice. Carnage, Spider-Man and Exuli.
Oh, Welsh Wizard had spun.
Oh.
I don't know if there was contact with Mormick, but Mormick has got into 9th position.
Oh wow!
Welsh Wizard
and he is far enough ahead. He is far enough ahead of Welsh Wizard now in 11th to still get a point in this race. Welsh Wizard has stopped on track. He's not rejoining this race quickly.
Yeah, he's struggling. His tyres are destroyed.
But
as Major Jam
Bunsey is now being passed by Major Jam. Or sorry, the other way around. Major Jam is being passed by Bunsey, and then that's him on track. Yeah. Oh, Elite Carbon losing a little bit of time to Blue Gunner, but they're just looking to maybe they got a bit of a. They're just looking to take it home now.
I'd say Elite Carbon needs to focus a little bit more on Bunsey because he's quite close. So if they could just hold those positions.
Yeah, if Bunsey passes Elite Carbon on track, it is a win for Bunsey. So this is a live race moment. As we watch him come around.
What is our DRS looking at, guys?
The ERS.
Elite Carbon with 30%, Bunsey with 33%, so very similar DRS.
Yeah, no advantage there.
Tires.
No advantage there.
This is a race.
Yeah, this is going to be right to the end.
The final lap.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And and what's key here is, and this might have been part of Elite Carbon's role all along. Oh, Welsh Wizard is gone. Welsh Wizard is gone.
Welsh Wizard is gone. That goes up to 12th.
He's after retiring in the pit, so that's okay. He figured he was done with those 8 seconds. I think Elite Carbon played a very smart game here, staying in the DRS of Blue Gunner leading this race. I think because if he was out front, he'd been burning that ERS and he'd have been in danger of over. Basically, he can battle Bunsey like for like with the DRS because Blue Gunner.
There was a lot of action behind. I don't know how much Blue Gunner was holding up Carbon, but if they were similar pace, well then Carbon definitely benefited.
Oh, this is huge, yeah. especially since Carbon knows about that penalty. And we're coming around to go to the final lap. And honestly, at this stage, Blue Gunner, and so we're on live with Blue Gunner, and he's down to 6%, and Elite does the thing. He puts Blue Gunner for the final lap. Very clever. Wade got the last DRS and put Blue Gunner behind him when he needed to. So he's going to finish on track. He put all of the ERS in there. And he put Blue Gunner between him and Bunsey at the last moment. And Bunsey now has to make that pass. What? That is an incredible... If that was a strategy to go to the end of this race and then put Blue Gunner between them, that was incredible thinking by Elite Carbon.
Absolutely. Bunsey will want to be taken as many points from this race as possible.
And look at this. Look at this. It doesn't matter if Bunsey does, because he's now outside the DRS of... Blue Gunner's outside the DRS. He was playing wounded for 4 laps to remain in the DRS. What an absolute tactician. I don't think we've seen something like that since Budge, when he was...
Unbelievable. Major Jam now on the back of Bunsey too. Put him on the pressure. Griffin on the back of Rory.
What an incredible... And Bunsey is now outside the DRS. He's figured this is over as he comes down the final back straight. And Griffin passes Rory Drain.
Griffin takes Drain.
Budge up to 5th. And he's going to get a couple of positions on Major Jam. Budge currently sitting on a podium as he comes around.
Wow.
And there's Elite Carbon. Oh no, sorry, not enough. No, he's 3 seconds. He is. He's on the podium. 2 Haas's, 1st and 3rd.
Budge into 3rd position.
What the absolute tacticians coming out of the Haas's in this race is incredible. As is a hero. Gets around, and Mormick is going to retain his 9th position because he's far enough ahead of Is a Hero. So he stays there despite all those penalties, and Mayo Man doesn't finish in the points after that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Why Not See says incredible, and it is absolutely incredible. We have an 18-point lead, or 18-point gain from Bunsey here in the championship.
And that puts him in the lead of this championship.
Wow. What are
that will put going to the standings. It is currently a 12-point lead, so Bunsey 6 points ahead as it stands without reviews.
Wow, and we are just one more race away from both Bunsey and Mayo Man likely going into the Williams car together. You know, Mayo Man has had an advantage in the first 8 races. He's had a 2-car advantage over Bunsey, and now Bunsey is going into potentially the second, third of the race.
It's like, and it'll be interesting to watch that race when it's like for like. Incredible. And Budge getting another podium. He's knocking in the results lately, and you know, he's probably going to remain in that Haas if we're being honest. Well,
no, I think he's going to go down. Judging by early calculations, Budge is actually moving down.
That's cruel.
He's outperforming himself.
Yeah.
Bernie Verne with a comment: Wizard is a CUNT. Obviously, something happened between those two there. We'll see.
Sully,
reviews next week.
Sully there, only 1 star finish straight on the star finish straight for the DRS, and that was huge. That was serious Elite Carbon stuff. So let me see. We have GG lads. Thank you Sully for joining us, and Spider-Man loving that. Smiles all over the chat room from Spider-Man. It was an incredible tactical race by Elite Carbon and absolutely brilliant. And Budge, the other half there. So Mrs. Meeps is going to run down the running order there.
You'd think. So in first we have Elite Carbon, 2nd is Bunsey, 3rd we have Budge, 4th Blue Gunner, 5th Major Jam, 6th is Rory Drain, 7th is Kaiser Gunner, 8th Griffin, 9th Mormick, 10th is a Hero, 11th Mayo Man, 12th Vernie Verne, 13th is Ronanosaurus, and 14 is Big Knuckles. Just takes a while for the other thing to come up. We have Buffalucas in 15th. Great performance from him despite that. Beaten Welsh Wizard, Iron Man and Supreme Bio.
who two of which DNF'd. So he didn't DNF, and he beat Welsh Wizard on track. So incredible stuff, and great to see, and welcome in Buffalucas from the Spanish part of Mexico.
A fantastic debut by Buffalucas. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Great to commentate with you. I'm delighted to say I will be back in my seat, driving and racing to the limit next week in Silverstone, the last race before cars change for the second part of the season. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, the very best of luck in that, the remainder of the season. We likely will have you on in a grid walk before the end of the season again, probably to discuss some of the change that happened after the next race. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to jump out of this chat, and we're going to finish up the stream and see about where we stand as this and where that leaves us from this race. Thank you very much for Chameleon for joining.
You're welcome. I'm putting my hand up as if you can see me, even though you can't. But thank you very much. Thanks, Mrs. Meeps.
Can I just say, Chameleon, that this is probably the most jovial I've ever heard you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm actually really depressed. This is just my persona for the show.
Oh, right.
Hopefully you can see better next time I
Not
see
even
you.
depressed. It's just not cursing and,
Yeah.
ranting.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm revealing my actual real life feelings. Normally I'm just angry and pissed off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Three sheets to the wind will do it. I'll talk to you later, mate.
Right,
Talk to you
bye.
later.
Yeah. Good night. Take care.
Okay, so that's Chameleon. He was very chatty.
Yes. As I said, that
As you
is
said.
the most jovial I've
Yes.
ever seen.
It's been an interesting one. We see there we had a very interesting race. What a tactical race by Elite Carbon.
Lap 27 was just outstanding.
Right.
All around. Like, what a lap of racing that was.
Yeah, I mean, it really looks like, because how much that Elite Carbon ended up pulling ahead of Blue Gunner in the end. It looked like he was just sitting there and saying, I could overtake this guy, but I'm getting to the ERS. Do you know? I'm getting the ERS, and then to just put Blue Gunner between him and Bunsey to finish out the race.
Have that buffer.
To have that buffer, and then just finish. That was an incredible win by a Haas. And Budge, despite that, doing what he does, no penalties, sitting in the wing, just kind of, looking there. He has completely outperformed, as Chameleon said, his Haas. So he's going to remain. He's probably going to have to move into a slower car for the next 8 races, or the race after.
A lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties, but
Well,
that's
again,
the nature of this track with the windiness, isn't it? Really, I mean,
But that's, like, again, this
Corner.
is only my second race
yeah.
really watching this. So is it typical, like, to have that many, or is it the track?
There
or
are tracks that are going to do that.
There's notorious ones.
Yeah, Ocean Chef. Oh, I missed it. We will. Yeah, we watch it back. Thank you very much for coming in, Ocean Chef. Or Ocean Chief. I beg your pardon. Ocean Chef. It's like that. It's like that.
And seafood.
It's like when they spray painted the Chiefs end zone with
Yeah,
the chefs. The chefs.
It's like, but who are the chefs?
Who are the chefs? Yeah, exactly. It looks lovely, but who are the chefs? This should be live on the channel, or sorry, not live on the channel, but it should be up there as a video to watch back. If you are watching and all that, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I know Ocean Chief has. Ocean Chief, I think I sent you a link to the Discord of the Wheel to Wheel. If you want to do that, it would be very much appreciated if you jumped in there. We can have a chat about the racing and stuff like that. And if you can't get in there, get into my Facebook or something like that, so I can message you properly. YouTube comments aren't really good for that. But thanks very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. The Ocean Chef. It's probably going to be that from now on, if I'm being honest. Not Ocean Chief.
Joins the ranks of Wets McLaren.
Wets McLaren and Ocean Chef.
Yeah.
It's definitely a crime fighting duo if ever there was one.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a great race as it happens. I really enjoyed that. And there's more to come. We're going to have, you seen how we had Mailman spin out there? Is he going to report that? Is Elite Carbon going to have his win taken away from him.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like the fallout from all the penalties and spins and contact. Like,
could Bunce, like, depending on who's involved there, I don't think Buncey was involved in anything, but if he was, we could have Budge just jump up to second or first just because of reports.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, you didn't get the link, man, jump into my Facebook or whatever it is on the QR code over there, not your face, over there. It's backwards on this, so yeah.
I only have one good eye, so watch where you're pointing at. Thank you.
But also, it's backwards on the screen, so I point that way, but I'm pointing up to the
Again.
thing. Yeah. Okay, so what you do is jump onto one of my social medias and message me, and I'll give it to you in a message. The comments on YouTube, not many people see them, or you have to go back into the actual video you watched. Anyway, and we'll get you on there because you can talk to all the drivers, you can get a feel for what it's like, and we get to know about your racing league as well, and maybe we'll have you on as a guest one time too. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because we saw a lot of incidents. Saw Welsh Wizard go around, we saw Mayo go around. Mayo will be kicking that wheel up and down the room as a result of that. He'll probably feel aggrieved that he was probably on for the win there. But it looked
as well.
Yeah, it looked like they were side by side going into the corner. So who should have given up? You know,
Not always clear.
No.
Not always clear cut.
No. So yeah, Griffin around, and he had a was a Supreme Bio. Well, I think he had the incident or the run in with Supreme Bio who was up there as well. But Griffin went from last, I would say he was 4th or 5th. He still finished 8th. Despite the spin, despite starting last, he still went out there, and that shows you, like, give him a proper car and he's going to put down.
Yeah, but again, it's the penalties and the
mistakes.
Yeah.
The mistake that we said at the start, we did. Unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. But one man who right now hasn't made a mistake was Elite Carbon. He went start to finish, and I have to say, I think that's elite. Let's look at the standings. Elite Heroes are going to get 25 points. Who's in Elite Heroes? So that's Is a Hero getting Is a Hero finished in the points too, right? Is a Hero Elite Carbon with the win is 25 points, and Hero with some points there. They could conceivably jump from 7th in the championship to 5th. They're going to jump. Thou Shalt Not Pass and Mistletoe Mikado. Depending on how they go, I have to look at theirs, but they're going to, like, that was a big gap that existed there between 23 to 44. They've essentially slammed that shut.
Yep.
And they're now in the hunt because they were only 6 points ahead of the Welsh Rockers. Yeah, but they're going to be in the hunt there for the mid pack.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a shake-up kind of at the end there.
Oh, Budge reporting Carbon milled Mayo, definitely a penalty, and Carbon will definitely lose his win. Oh, there's probably rows going on in the chats. They cannot discuss an open investigation or an open review. So we're not going. That's what's being reported by Budge here because he has insight. He was in the chat. I will say this: it will be devastating to see Carbon lose that win. But look, I suppose this is them's the breaks that they say.
As I say.
As you say, as Boris Johnson says, actually, that's where that comes from. That's where them's the breaks come from.
Does it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because he said it. He said it on when he was getting kicked out of office. Anyway, them's the breaks.
I'm sure somebody has said
them's
that.
the breaks. He coined it, and that's when it became recently. So we won't discuss open reviews. That it will be open for now. We don't want to influence the judge.
Budge has the receipts.
He's seen the footage. There you go. So yeah, look, we won't discuss it anymore because it is an open investigation now. We will let the engine or the reviewers have a look at that. The adjudicators look at that, and they will come back. We will report on it like we did tonight. You see there, we will give you the what was reviewed last week and how it affected the race. That's another one in the bag. Mrs. Meeps 2 down, and I think I really feel like this has been good. We won't have Chameleon unfortunately next week.
Mm-hmm.
That
you
might
may
mean
not have me either because it's a school night.
it's a school night. Yeah, but you know, it's okay.
I need my sleep.
It's in. We will definitely have you in. But that's the end of week 2. That was Japan. We've seen Singapore and Japan. For you.
Oh, for me.
Yeah. Week 2 down.
Yeah.
It is of course wheel to wheel week 7 over and done with in Japan. Your thoughts? Where are we next week? Next week we are in. We're in the UK. We're in Britain. We're in Silverstone. So
that's a fairly happy-go-lucky track. I don't think there's a lot of
it's a very fast track. It's a really good track for the drivers. But yeah, that is the end of the stream. Thank you very much for joining me once again. It's great to have you. We do have to report on. We will put out the footage of the that we got from Jesus. This is from the executive. They get me nervous every time we talk about them.
Well then, yeah.
We're going to put it up. They also will be. What we're going to do is we're going to put up a warning sign. To those, we do have the secrets. We do down in the corner, down the bottom there. We do have the secret wheel to wheel signature there that goes on. That is the secret handshake for the wheel to wheel guys. We will be putting up a warning at the start of the stream and probably in the corner somewhere that we are now being watched by the executive. So we just want to make sure people don't say something that might get them into trouble. Incriminating. Certainly not while we're on this stream.
Especially because they're all a bunch of crime bags.
Yeah. I mean, but they do have influence and they do run this. They do essentially run this league from the front. Yeah. Week 7 in the bag. Week 2 for me, Mrs. Meeps. We'll call it there.
Mrs. Meeps out.
Mrs. Meeps out, and Meeps will see you on the flip side. We are all done. We will see you next week in Wheel to Wheel Week 8 in